Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Cesar Quackles Games. This game is actually game 23 of the Albany 4th of July tournament. This was the last game of the tournament, and I was definitely pretty tired. I remember I was feeling pretty sick, but I had won my last few games. I actually won my first 3 of the day, and I was actually playing for second. I most likely, if I won, I was going to get third because of the way the pairings worked out, and because Seth and Joey were both ahead of me. So, but I knew at this point that I could, I had no danger of falling out of the cash spot. So I was super happy, even though I was very tired. And I was actually sitting right next to Seth and Joey when they were playing their game for first. I was thinking that maybe since the spreads might matter, it would be nice to know what was going on in their game, just so I could have that outside shot at second. And let's see what happened here. This is actually a pretty interesting game. So Karl opened with Weave, and then this is my rec. It seems that I have Meow through this A. I kind of just missed it, and I found Widow. It's a pretty close decision, so I don't think that's that big of a mistake. He plays a beautiful bingo here of Evermore. I actually held just for a little bit, but I know that's a normal word. It takes an N, Nevermore, although I don't think it ever came up. This rack is really interesting. I have Redreamt through the E, and I have Mortared through the O. I actually saw both of them. I ended up playing Redreamt, but this is funny because I kind of just left it there on the board for a little bit. Maybe like a whole minute. I was just staring at it, and it's not because I was unsure of it. It's just because I wasn't sure if I should play Mortared instead. Mortared seems a little more aggressive. It opens up all those nice letters for him to play through, and I just didn't want to do that. I thought maybe I keep it just a tiny bit more closed, but then, do I want to play closed? I'm kind of down a tempo here, but it's still early in the game. So anyway, I was just thinking about all those things, and I decided to play Redreamt. And it actually occurred to me after about, a minute of just staring at it that maybe he might think I'm unsure of it. So maybe I could play it and then draw a challenge. But I wasn't counting on it at all. And it turns out that he actually challenged it. So all of a sudden I'm in a good position now. This is my rack. I have Pay here, keeping stuff closed and scoring 40 points. He scores. And then I have this very nice rack. This is a nice, I don't usually find plays like this, but I guess I'm just the studying is starting to pay off because to the E I find the word Venenos. I think Venenos just means kind of like the same thing as venomous, poisonous. So actually there's a difference between poison and venom, as you guys may know. To that he plays Cat here, and then I have this other beautiful rack that bingos from the M. And, he doesn't fall back. He doesn't fall too far behind because he immediately comes back and vaulting, putting him down by 66. And then my rack next turn is actually a very hard choice here. I have Budget I. The Cat takes an I in front, so I could make a big play here, or I could try closing the board. I'm usually tend to struggle a bit at coming up with the best plays in these type of situations because I'm not sure exactly when it's worth closing the board, when it's worth scoring, but I've tended to gravitate towards scoring. If I score here, if I score 30 something points, then even if he bingos, I'll still be up a tempo. So I like scoring in a lot of these positions. I can't block everything, so why give up 34 points, right? Busied might be a choice here through the S, but it's just keeping GT. It's just such an ugly leave. He plays Axe, puts him down by just about 60 now. But then I have this rack, IJLOSTU. I have a couple choices here. I thought about JUTES for a while. It scores 40. JUSTS also scores 40, but it doesn't open up the triple lane, so it has to be better than Jutes. But I actually thought about this for a long time, so let's show you here what happened in the sim, right? If I generate choices here, because this is actually a very pivotal move. What did he play last? He plays Axe. That doesn't really tell me much about his rack. Maybe he, it doesn't tell me much about his rack at all. Actually, he took the 40 points. So if we delete some of these plays here, what sims best? So it looks like Just's sims a little bit better, but the main issue here is that this actually loses the last S, and even though this board is not that S friendly, S is still a good like scoring tile in some cases, right? Like I can if I can keep it till the end of the game just in case I need it, and then I can put it on something. And it's also I could still bingo with it through like the E, from the T. There's a bunch of things I could do. So the S is a good tile to keep. So Quackle likes Justs. I'm not a huge fan of it. It also likes Soju, which is kind of cool because it sets up my S hook. I ended up kind of playing it safe and playing JEU. It doesn't score as much, but it keeps a decent leave, and I think maybe this will actually, there's a chance it might turn into something good next turn. And of course, my play of JEU actually blocked Inquired, which is what he told me here. So he is forced to play Equid, and I draw my bingo. I actually drew Solution through the U or Inositol from the I. But he doesn't like fall too far behind. He keeps scoring. But at this point, I'm a pretty good shot to win. Like I'm up by almost 100, and I still have scoring tiles. So I ended up playing Flay here. HI, he does HI, and then I'm kind of trying to just find the best move here. So at this point in the game, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win. He's too far behind, and now I need to try to find like the highest spread plays here, because if I win this game by over, I think if I win this game and Joey beats Seth by a combined total of 200 or so, I would get to get second place. So that was my hope. I was actually trying to score as much as I could. Now the problem with Feign is that it keeps AOU, and then I might not get to go out next, or I might have an unworkable rack. But then I actually counted the consonants, and the bag is pretty consonant heavy, so I thought I would get bailed out. And yeah, I drew some consonants. I played a bad endgame here. I actually spent a little bit of time trying to find like my best endgame. If I play Coos to the S, then I actually keep AHA over here in the top row, or I keep AHA through the Y, making Aya. So that's the best endgame. I found something that's decent because this also goes out in 2. He ends up playing here, and I go out with YOU. So I win by enough to actually get second place. So this was super awesome. I got about, what was it, like $350, but it's really not about the money. It's more about like the, getting second in a pretty big field right before nationals feels good. So let's hope that I do okay at nationals too. So that's a game. It was a pretty high scoring game. There was lots of bingos. But I also wanted to show you guys one more thing. In the game that was a couple of games before that, game 20, I played Benji. And we actually went through this game on his stream, but I wanted to show you guys one particular move. Well, let's just show you really quickly, like working right up to it. So he opens with that. I'm trying to blow up the board right away, like open several lanes, because I don't want to, like, there's a pretty close board play. If I don't have a bingo, like, it's going to be easy for him to block. I do that. Low quad is not the best play here, but that's okay. He ends up bingoing. So now I'm kind of in trouble, right? Like, I scored 27 here, but he scores again. He's up by more than a bingo. He's up by 88 points. And then I do this play. So a whole bunch of people on his stream and even on the chat were saying, like, this is kind of a crazy play. It's like somebody even called it a suicidal play. And I just wanted to show you guys that, even though it worked out for me, like he ended up playing Envy to try to block the S hook, and then I played Spy for 66, and then I eventually ended up coming back to win the game due to various lucky draws. But even if I had not drawn the S, even if he had the S here and he played Spaz or he bingoed or whatever, this would still be the right play. Like, if you generate choices, this Sim's so far ahead of anything else. Like, there's no real other choice here. I mean, Quackle kind of likes Panini. Let me see, let's look at Panini here. We can't do that. Like, that's just like, that almost all the time he's going to score like 40 something here. Like, this is not workable play. This is just Quackle being kind of desperate. Mannequin, I think, gives me the best chance to win the game. It scores 39 points, and if I draw the S, I have a huge shot at coming back. And I'm going to lose the game anyway if he doesn't draw the S, if he has the S, or if I don't end up drawing the S at all, or any S's, right? So basically, the win percentage over here is still very low. It's like 15%. So I'm still like a very long shot to win after Mannequin, but it gives me the best chance to win. So I think this is the kind of play that you should make if you're down by a lot, and you just have to go for it. You have to take a chance, and it's okay to look. It's okay if you look dumb and have him play some giant play. I still think that this is right. So if you guys want to take a look at this game, it's on Cross Tables also. And I thought it was a pretty interesting one, and I definitely got lucky, but I'm very glad to have found this play because I think it is what won me the game in the end. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Good luck to everyone who's playing Nationals, and see you in a few weeks or in a few days.